Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday, July 7th, 2024. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing pretty well. I put this shirt in the dryer under the wrinkle away setting because it's got like a setting. It's like a steam setting that'll take the wrinkles out of shirts. And then I went and grabbed it and put it on really quickly and hopped on the stream. And it's like a steam setting. So this shirt is still kind of slightly damp, and I don't like it. But it's too late now. It'll dry out. How's everybody doing? It's me, Bug from Bug Hunter. I'm here to entertain you. Maybe just hang out with you. Maybe entertain is too strong of a word. Maybe we're just hanging out. You and me and 35 of our closest friends hanging out on YouTube. Yeah. What do y'all want to talk about? Here's what I do. I play songs. I play songs written by me for a band called Bug Hunter. Sometimes a band called Jam Mechanics. And I talk and I chat and I chit-chat and I see what's up and see what y'all are doing and having just a good old time talking about things going on in my world and things that are upcoming and other fun stuff. So before I get going, why don't we do a little roll call? Just shout out what song you want me to play first, and then I'll do that, and I'll see who is hanging out. I see Cornfield Cryptid, who just got done spending a weekend with Time of Some, who's driving home and can't be here. Oh no. Paul is here, AJ's here, Alex Smith is here, Housecoat Hero, Lily is here, Stashu, Max Noble, Poppy, Aim Aru, Ketsoya, Tommy Bear's here. All right. We got Mars is here, Candyman Fight. I Like Trains is someone who's here. Super Cool Toonie. I know my dad's here. Yeah, there's my dad. Because I was just on the phone with my dad. And I was like, my mom in the background was like, when's your show today? And I said, right now, I have to go. And so I know that they would be here. So my parents are here. Awesome. Cool. Fun people. All right, not seeing a lot of, not seeing a ton of consistency with what people want to hear. Disc Golf, Coward, Bedtime, 30 Plan, Plot Twist, Chase, a couple of chases. Dynamite, yeah, you would like that, wouldn't you? Key, Disc Golf, that's funny. It would be funny if I played Alchemical while Time isn't here. You're right. I almost want to do that. Yeah, Dynamite was really fun. I have no idea how to play Dynamite. Like I said, I could figure it out, but I don't know it now. I don't know the chords, but yeah. Yeah, let's see. You guys are giving me too many things. I feel like I played Chase like yesterday. Kraken? Oh, I've never been asked that on a YouTube stream. Oh, Paul, you missed a Jam Mechanics episode? Go listen to episode 4. You should. It's good. It's got a song called Dynamite in it. Not had disco on a stream for a bit. That's true. Deserve Me. God. There's so many requests. I can't decide what I want to do. How about this one? And it starts tonight because tonight's the night, but not just any night. It is movie night. I would have made you dinner, but my toaster broke. So you put on a little sci-fi film about the dangers of blah 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 whatever. I am barely watching, time is standing still. I'm about to change my life forever. I ask you if we can chat a minute and you say sure when the movie's finished. So I fast forward to the end and say I think we should be more than friends, and you say look, you're great. Uh-oh, that's not a good start. You say you're not ready for that and don't want to mess up what we have. But I have an idea, you say. And you reach into your bag of things that 20-year-olds think are good ideas. And you pull out this massive classic gem. If we're both still single at 30, will you marry me? It's a pinky promise, shifted one to the right. It's too soon for I do's, will you take an I might? If we're both still single at 30, and I am not your first choice, but I'm a solid 30 plan. Hot damn safety net that I am. You got a backup love, so you know where I stand. I'll take a maybe, a shot, or a chance. Yeah, I'll take a maybe, a shot, or a chance. So we cut to the scene where I build a machine, but not just any machine, it is a time machine. I made it from my toaster, like that movie, Hot Toast Time Machine. I load a bagel in the future slot, set to 10 and smack down on the lever. A decade passes in a single thought. I'm about to change my life forever. I find you and you're still single. I am obviously single. It's like a tale from a storybook until you say, how does 40 look? But wait, I'm pretty sure you said, and I quote, if we're both still single at 30, will you marry me? It's a time capsule, no, it's a proposal. A little bit of neither and a little bit of both. So now we're both still single at 30, but apparently what you really meant to say was, ah, come on, let's pick an arbitrary number, kick the can down the road before we tie it to the bumper. You never thought we'd be single at 30. And I am still not your first choice, but I'm a solid 40 plan. Hot damn safety net that I am. You got a backup love, so you know where I stand. I'll take a maybe, a shot, or a chance. Yeah, I'll take a maybe, a shot, or a chance. I have some bad news, everybody. There are no bagels in the future. I have got one left, but 2 slots on my toaster. One'll take me forward, one'll take me back. One's another chance and one is closure. I load my bagel, I've made up my mind. Set to 10 and smack down on the lever. A decade passes as I go through time. I'm about to change my life forever. As soon as I finished that song, the number of viewers jumped like 10%. So maybe I should just talk for a while. Hey, thanks everybody. Appreciate that. So AJ asked a question about the song, and we can go ahead and move on over to Cozy Q&A if y'all want to. If you have questions for me, happy to answer. AJ wants to know, why didn't they go back in time to get more bagels and then they could do whatever they wanted? Great question. A lot of people think this is a plot hole in this song. It is not. The way time travel works in the Bug Hunter cinematic universe is only your conscious and memories travel through time. So if you go forward, you can remember everything that obviously happened in your life up to the point that you move forward. But if you go backwards, you can't remember the future anymore. So if protagonists of that song had gone back in time, they would not have remembered that there were no bagels in the future and wouldn't have known to bring some back. So there you go. There's too much to explain in a 3.5-minute song, but that's how it works. So, yeah. Alex says, obviously ambiguous ending. Do you think they go forward or back at the end? Keep trying or accept the loss? It's a great question. Kennedy Taylor Davis asks, do you have any shows coming up soon? My daughter would love to see you. Oh boy, do I have some good news for you with this graphic that I misclicked the first time I tried, and then it worked that time. Look at that. We got a whole bunch of dates. Some of these are past. I should probably just update my stream graphic to not be the full American tour list, because we've done about a third of these. So anything from June 2nd to June 16th, obviously, has already happened, and no amount of bagels will make you be able to attend those shows anymore. But upcoming, we still have the whole East Coast and Midwest and like U.S. South. So anything in like the D.C. out to like Kansas City. Basically, that's like the east and west borders, and then like Minneapolis down to like Orlando. Those are like the north and south borders. If you're in that box, good chance that we're going to be within 2 or 3 hours of you, because we tried to get a pretty good coverage of the U.S. For these 20 shows that we're going to do. They're all listed over here if you want to just read them. And you can get tickets for any of those shows. I don't think any of them are sold out on the East Coast, because we did a good job this year of not getting too small of venues. And I think the closest one to selling out would be Madison, Wisconsin, and then New York City, I think, are probably two that have a really high likelihood of actually selling out before the show happens. But as of right now, you got a little bit of time. Sandal Assy says the Portland show is great. Yes, the Portland show was the kickoff show for this entire tour, and I also had a really great time with that show. It was super, super fun. Cool. So we got some questions. We'll do a little cozy Q&A. Asking about my clock going backwards. Yeah, I'll show it again real quick while I talk about it. But yeah, this clock spins in reverse, and it's never at the right time. I don't even pretend to try and set it at any point, and most of the time it doesn't have a battery in it. I only put a battery in it for streams, because otherwise it makes a clicking sound, and this is where I record some music, so I can't have a ticking sound in the back of my recordings because it would ruin all my recordings all the time. So anyways, it's a reference to a song that I wrote called Safe Word. Daniel wants to know, any chance you'll ever have shows in Europe? Yeah, I am very, very close. I should know tomorrow whether or not we're doing a Europe tour this year. I think we are. Good chance we are. Right now, the honest answer to that is we've just struggled to get venues this year, because I didn't think that I started super late, but I guess that I did. I guess in the U.S., the time that I took to be like, oh yeah, if I do it like 4 or 5 months in advance, it'll be good. We just found a lot of just everyone's like, we've already got shows that night. We don't have any availability for you. Our calendar's full. So I think there's just a lot of. I'll start earlier next time. So basically, I'll know tomorrow. There's a venue in London that is going to get back to me tomorrow, and if we can have that show, I have all the other shows lined up, and so we'll just make everything happen. If not, I might just move things back to early next year. So we'll still do it, but just to give us some time to actually book the venues in the cities that we want to go to. So yeah, we're planning on coming to Europe if we can. It's a lot harder to find shows in mainland Europe. I think right now, if things happen, Berlin and Frankfurt are on our list, and then we're looking in a few other places, but so far, no bites. It's hard. It's weird. It's one of those things I'll email places and be like, hey, you're a 100 cap venue, and we can definitely, a guarantee, we can bring 100 people out to the show. And even if you're even nervous about it, we'll pay a rental fee. Whatever you need to make sure that your night gets paid for, we'll pay it. We have confidence. And they'll just be like, no thanks. So what can you do? Harmon the Badger said Sacramento is great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Does the old man in Too Bad, Too Bath and a Ghost die and get to live with his wife or move out and leave her behind in the end? Man, it's almost like I wrote an album full of ambiguous endings in the attempt to foreshadow that the album itself had an ambiguous ending. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Foxfire wants to know, what size of the venue is Madison roughly? Thinking of going, but Madison will be the smallest show of the tour. I think it might even be I don't want to say. I think somebody said that it's a seated venue, but I don't know if that's true. I saw a picture of it that didn't have seats, but maybe they put out seats. Regardless, the total cap in Madison is like 120 or like 130, so it'll be probably of all the shows more chill than, say like Boston or something. So if you have any concerns about that, that's the best I could tell you. For Madison, like, it won't get any more chill than that. And our shows are generally very chill, and we have a lot of people come to them and have a very good time who will say, oh, I was nervous about coming, and then it was actually so much fun, and I loved it. So Alex says, I learned guitar just so I could learn, listen to my mom, and play it for her on Mother's Day. Therefore, you are responsible for making my mom cry. That's all I ever wanted to hear. Yeah. Sorry. Or not sorry. You're welcome. You're welcome and sorry. So other things going on in my world. Obviously, the tour stuff is going on. So we have that coming up. Already starting to look at next year. Trying to incorporate, some Canada dates into our U.S. tour. So crossing the border, which is always very scary when you're trying to work and you don't always know what you're doing. Mathematical Cabbage says the Bug concert last year was the most fun I've had at a concert. 10 out of 10. Recommend going if you can. Yeah, we always have a good time at our shows, and we always feel like everybody has a good time at our shows, and we always send out surveys to everybody who comes to the shows afterwards, and ask them to just say hey, do you have any feedback for us if there's anything, and any constructive kind of things, and I'd say 99% of people will answer the question how willing would you be to come back and come to another show if we came back, and it's almost always a 5 out of 5 on that. The only 3 out of 5 answers that we got on this was, I would have said 5 out of 5, but I flew from Florida to Seattle for this show, and so it's hard to say that I would definitely come back because I flew across the country for it. So we'll take that as a spiritual 5. Paul is going on about soup, and normally I trust all your food recommendations, Paul, but not this time. Candyman Fight wants to know, what's my favorite album? Do you mean of my 4 or of all albums in general, of just other artists? Because I would have different answers. Of mine, I think Happiness Without a Catch is probably my favorite, and I know it's super lame for an artist to be like, my latest album is my best album, but as an album, I'm not saying that every song on Happiness Without a Catch is better than every song on my other 3 albums, but as an album, I was really, really happy with what I was able to accomplish with it as a 40-minute piece of work rather than 11 individual songs. I think all 11 songs are great songs, and I think all of them together, played in order, is the best set of songs played in an order. Those songs in that order. to a point where it's intimidating to think about making another album, because I'm like, I don't want to put in all the work that I did to make that kind of work like it did, and I don't want people to expect the next thing to be like that. So, yeah. But of other people's musics, I would say, because I'm definitely a big album listener, but when I think of my favorite albums, I go back to my teen years, and I think of like the Black Parade and 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, and those early Bayside albums, Walking Wounded, and Bayside. Favorite album, I don't know. 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge might be my favorite album. But I haven't updated my list of favorite albums in a really long time, so. I missed the tour on the West Coast this year because of surgery. Curious if you're going to try and tour annually. Yeah, I think as long as people are willing to support us annually. It's one of the, you don't want, you want to walk that line between coming and playing often enough that, like, financially it makes sense. Like, if we played a show every week, eventually people would be like, well, I can't afford to come to a concert every week, so I'm going to skip the next 7. But you don't want it to be every 5 years, because then you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that band. I didn't know that they were still around. So there's a sweet spot where people are like, yes, it's been long enough that I want to go again, but it's also not been too long that I still listen to these people and remember them. And that's, as we get into our careers, understanding what that line is. Yearly feels right, but we'll continue to do it as long as we can, as long as people are willing to come to shows. That's really the thing about it, is you can't go and lose money on a tour. You can't go and sell 8 tickets and spend, $4,000 getting there and setting up and renting venues. So as long as people are able to come and do it, we'll keep doing it. So. Alex says, would not expect My Chemical Romance to be one of your tops given how wholesome you are. Yeah, I just, I can't pull off anything more angsty. So if I could, I would. The music that I grew up listening to is not totally reflected in my style. Yeah, and then the other end of touring annually is, a lot more bands. I think it's very rare for artists to stick together the way that Matt and I have over the last 2 years. I think it's like, oh yeah, we toured together once, and then we went and toured with other people. But we have a synergy within our fan base that works really, really well. We're also kind of tied together by Jam Mechanics, which is our podcast that we do. So there's a natural kind of cohesiveness, and then also the fact that when you find people that you can spend weeks on end in a van with, you don't let them go and try something else, because it's very intimate to tour with other people. So, my dad, Kyle and Jesse in my band, and then Matt, when you have a good formula, sometimes you want to stick with it. So. And Harmon the Badger says, was introduced to Matt through you. We get emails and messages all the time in equal measure of, hey, I was a Bug Hunter fan, but now, like, the Narcissus Cookbook's like my favorite band of all time, and the other way around. I literally got an email last night that was like, hey, I started Jam Mechanics because I knew the Narcissus Cookbook, and it was like my favorite artist in the world, and sorry, Matt, but Bug Hunter may have taken that top spot. But, like, we see that all the time. So that's one of those things. It's like, when you find somebody that, like, even the people who don't actually know both of us, when so many of them walk away, now fans of both of us, even though they didn't come into it that way, it's like, well, this is great. This is fantastic. It's like the most. This is the we're able to find the audience like most primed to like our music. If they've never heard it, is like, yeah, I don't want to give that up. So. Alex says, since the last stream I dropped in for, I binged all of Jam Mechanics, then found Matt and binged all of The Narcissist. Yes. Thank you. Evidence item number 3,427,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,0 binging Jam Mechanics. It's, from what I can tell, the most bingeable podcast possible, especially because I think podcasts are very intimidating, at least for me, when someone's like, oh, listen to whatever, this podcast, Dungeons and Daddies or whatever. I'm like, there's like 600 episodes. Like, I physically, like, I don't have time. I can't do it. It's the same with TV shows. It's like, oh, this is like the best TV show ever made. It was like 9.5 seasons. And a movie is like, I do not have time to get through it all. Give me something that just launched and there's like 3 episodes of that you love. And then I can keep up with it, maybe. And that's where we're at with Jam Mechanics. There's only 14 episodes. So, and they're all like 30 to 40 minutes long. They're very good for car rides if you have a commute to work and that kind of thing. So get into us before we're at 300 episodes, which would take so many years to do because we don't do them that fast. It's every 2 weeks, so it's not a lot. So you can definitely get on the Jam Mechanics bandwagon before it does whatever bandwagons do where you can't get on them anymore. I love seeing all the Jam Mechanics love in the chat right now. That's making me really happy. I actually just finished editing our next episode. We have always tried to stay like at least like 3 episodes ahead of release schedule. So, we're not like scrambling at the last second to get an episode together, but we fully caught up to where we're at. So if you've listened to season 2, episode 4, as of when it released, that's all we had, because we did enough to get us through tour, and then just came back and did episode 5 a couple days ago. So we are getting pretty close to being caught up. We're gonna try and get episode 6 done in 2 days on Tuesday. So we should hopefully build back up our cache of episodes so that we don't have to panic. But yeah, I was literally just finishing editing episode 5 this morning and sent it to my folks, who are the one and only quality control for Jam Mechanics. Is my parents listen to it and they give me their notes, and then I edit a couple small things and then we release it. So yeah, Candy doesn't even like podcasts and love Jam Mechanics. Yeah. Cool. Let me play a song. Yeah. I will put my my clock in view for this one because it needs to be. Right twice a day, but mine spins in reverse and may have double odds and better luck. Now it's twice as good as worthless junk. My heart's as healthy as a horse, but my hard hat's looking hardly worn. That other steel-toed boot'll drop, but I don't know when or how to stop. I wish I had a secret code, signal me to take it slow. I need a sign like calculus, cause my limit does in fact exist. So slow down, folks. Guess do yoga poses and learn to love the lull and just breathe, breathe. Alright, I'm good, I think I'm smiling and nodding, but surveillance cameras caught me laugh maniacally, headbutting every obstacle. I've got to turn it off and pick back up when I am on. Even with an invitation, boy, you gotta learn to knock. Oh, knock it off. And do me one favor, remember the safe word. I get that passion motivates and crashes down like ocean waves, but tunnel vision's toxic, man. You're not John Henry, take a breath. That might sound harsh when you are used to head rubs, praise, and sugar cubes. I just hate to see you racing towards behaviors that we shouldn't reward. So slow down, focus, do yoga poses, and learn to love the lull and just breathe, breathe, breathe. Alright, I think I'm smiling and nodding, blending in and getting on, but no, I haven't fooled the cameras in my camouflage. I'll take it off, and I won't spit on anyone, even with an invitation. Boy, you gotta learn to knock, oh, knock it off. And do me one favor, remember the safe word. And I have no construction crew to build this introduction tune, but it's sound and under budget too. The chords work, the beat works, the verse and melody works, and these words, they each work, have purpose versus knee-jerk. Safety first, let's be sure our neon PPE works. Now the only thing that needs work is the last bit of the bridge. I think I'm smiling and nodding, my old man are nodding off. It's just my neck is getting tired, so much nonsense to hold up, just take a pause. But don't give up the dream. If they change the locks behind you, you can find another key and hope a smile and a nod's the only signal they have seen. You're no machine, but there's no shame in blowing off a little steam. So hear me knock, hear me hammer, hear me yell, and don't knock it till you tried it. Try to knock or try the bell. Oh, let me in. The trip has been paid for, and you have a way for, so don't waste the day or delay it for later. But do me one favor, remember the safe word. Thank you, everybody. That song is called Safe Word, and I barely remember the words to it. If you saw me smiling as I was approaching the first chorus, I was smiling because I was like, I don't know lyrics. I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna beef it. And then I didn't. I found them at the last second. It's one of those songs where all three choruses start the same way and then change after a line. And I had the second one and I had the third one. I was like, what is the first one? I don't remember. And it was surveillance cameras caught. Found it, so I was literally smiling and nodding. Cool. Thanks, everybody. Let's do a little more cozy Q&A. Whatever y'all want to talk about for a little bit, and then I'll play one more song, and then we'll go our separate ways. But it's okay, because we all have things to do, and we all need space. And I can't just have my camera on YouTube 24/7, because most of it is just me sitting at my desk working on spreadsheets. So AJ says we'll do the thing where we say bye and then realize we're going to the same way and it's awkward. That actually kind of does happen, because I do say bye and I'll see y'all later, and then most of us kind of just hop into the Discord. And it's like, hey, thanks everybody. I'm still here, but just now I'm on my phone getting food in the kitchen. Harmon the Badger wants to know, what is the spreadsheet method? That is a great question, and I don't have a full answer for you right now, but it is literally on my to-do list between now and the next tour to make like a little, just like 5 or 10 minute video detailing how I use spreadsheets to improve my songwriting. Alex Smith asked a question, and Mars used a hot toast time machine to know that question was coming down the pipe. Emily, have a good day. Just today, though. I don't know about the rest of the days, but today, have a good one. I'd be a really good narrator. Maybe not. Probably not. Maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, Cassandra says, I've got to jump in the Discord when I have like 20% more socializing energy. We have a lot of lurkers in there, I have a feeling. This is going to sound like a big number. Last I checked this morning, there's 2,042 people in our Discord, but it kind of feels like there's 30. So don't be intimidated by that number. It is not one of those Discords that is just going, just like everyone's just saying random things. It feels like it's a pretty small group of people in there. So I think a lot of people use it because, here's one thing I like about Discord that's different than most other social media is if I post something on Instagram, Instagram's like, yeah, we'll show it to like 10% of the people that say they want to see it. But if you want everyone to see it, you got to give us some money. And Discord's like, it's just text. Just everyone can look at it. It's fine. And you can like sign up to do a little emoji, and it'll give you a role that I will tag certain roles if it's like tour news or music live streams. Like I tag everybody who has the music live stream tag before I do any music live stream. There's like 600 people who like have signed up for that role, and it just gives you a little ping. It's just like, hey, I know you're busy. You probably forgot about Bug doing his little stream. And I know 540 of you did forget, and that's okay. I know that you're going to watch it later. You're going to watch it on demand. I know you'll all be here. But yeah, so you can do that. Yeah. So I really like Discord because it just lets me tell people things that they want to know. Isn't that great? And then, yes, there's a Jam Mechanics Discord as well that is kind of a communal place for Bug Hunter fans and Narcissus Cookbook fans who listen to the podcast. And we do like a live listen along with folks from in there. And I'm not as good about doing social media for Jam Mechanics as I am for Bug Hunter, which is also bad. But I have no patience for doing social media stuff. So when you see me post things, just know it took a lot of effort for me to care enough to do it. And Jam Mechanics is like lower down my list. So Discord is kind of like one of the few places that we really share anything about Jam Mechanics. But yeah, you can come and listen to the new episodes with us on Monday morning. So and Cassandra points out, I do have a Tumblr. I'm so bad at Tumblr. I don't know what Tumblr wants. I don't get how Tumblr works. Nothing has like times or dates on it. You don't know, like, you can't go on Tumblr and be like, oh, we have a show on Friday, because there's no dates attached to posts. It'll just show up in someone's feed like 3 years from now, and you'll be like, what is this? I don't know when this is. Tumblr is not for telling people about things. Tumblr is for just saying things and detached from time, and hope that it finds somebody who also cares about it at that moment. So, and Matt is very good at Tumblr, and so the only times I ever open up Tumblr and have like any amount of notifications is when Matt has reblogged something of mine, and it has reached Matt's much larger Tumblr audience. I don't even know how many followers I have on Tumblr. I could have 50 or I could have 20,000. I genuinely don't know where to find this information. So Discord because it has timestamps. It's chronological. Yeah, other than that, Tour Jam Mechanics got a new episode coming out, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. And then if you've been following that, we've been releasing fully produced songs from Jam Mechanics. The fourth and final single release that we're doing is one of Matt's for a song called Get Deep Fried, and that is coming out in 5 days on Friday. So, yeah, it's very good. I've heard the final version, and it's awesome. So. Okay, how about I do one more song, and then I'm gonna go have leftover pad thai from last night, and I'll be very happy. What do y'all want to hear? I've done my tagline song as I try to do second. But yeah, shout out whatever you want to hear. I'll play it maybe. Do a cover of Mama from MCR. Yeah, I wouldn't know how. Probably sound like The Chase. Oh, Whomst? I've never had so many people ask for Dear McCracken. Okay, sure. Yeah, whatever. I was about to make a joke, but it was mean. I was just going to be like, a bunch of casuals in the chat, but I didn't really mean it. I'm just not used to people asking for McCracken. All right, yeah, sure. How's this one go? Let me take some water first. I'm going to turn off my mic so I don't make ASMR water drinking sounds. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. This is a great song. I just am not used to it being asked for. This song is called Dear McCracken, and I made all of it up. I just stepped on a plane, my bag's on the shelf. I find my seat in the middle and plan to keep to myself. The pilot comes on, says there's been a delay. So I sigh, buckle up, and prepare for the wait. There's a middle-aged woman on my right by the window. No ring on her finger, maybe divorced or a widow. She's drafting an email, and from where I am seated, I can side-eye that shit, so of course I'm gonna read it. It said, Dear McCracken, this is already great. Dude's got a pen pal and a killer last name. She opens with an inside joke, and she's hoping to set a casual tone. Her words carefully chosen. She was sure that her week spent in Houston would drag, but then a face from her past quickly changed all of that. The trip was for business, she's used to the travel, but this time she's not ready to head back to Seattle. And Dear McCracken, I'd rather be off this plane. I can't admit the half of it that I want to say. Do I pretend? Do I push you away? I'm jet-lagging, McCracken, and I'll give you your space. And I can tell by the abuse of the backspace key, there's a heart balanced on how her words are perceived. She's retyped that fourth paragraph 4 times, swinging the tone back and forth until she's so satisfied that he knows that even though their paths have diverged, there's an air of regret, but not enough to reverse. And I am stunned. There I sit, completely convinced that once you grow old, you stop dealing with this. The uncertain, the hurt, and the feeling like dirt when things don't work out. By the fall of the curtain, she hits send, powers off, and we're ready to go. And I am sad for the passion that McCracken, he might never know. Dear McCracken, I'd rather be off this plane. I can't admit the half of it that I want to say. Do I pretend? Do I push you away? I'm jet-lagging, McCracken, and I'll I'll give you your Dear Kraken. I'm keeping this on my chest. I said a lot of things, none of them what I meant. Do I pretend? Do I try to forget? I'm jet lagging my Kraken, and I wish you the best. And I thought by that age our broken hearts had seen their worst. And I thought that kind of heartache was meant for the young, but we're never too old to hurt. And I thought by that age our broken hearts had seen their worst. And I thought that kind of heartache was meant for the young, we're never too old to hurt. I just stepped off a plane, I've got one regret. I know I'll never get closure or ever see how it ends. No, I won't know his answer, what happens between them, why she kept her cards so close, even she couldn't see them. What gave her such pause when she so clearly wanted to tell you all the emotions she tried so hard to bottle. And I'll never know why she kept the honest truth from you, but oh dear McCracken, in the rough draft, oh in the rough draft, in the rough draft she loved you. Thanks everybody. That's a song called Dear McCracken. I haven't played it since playing it in Seattle. We close most shows with Dear McCracken. I've been thinking about what it would be like to not do that and just like get up and play Dear McCracken like third in a set list and just see what happens. But it's been our closer for a long time, and even though Disco is technically our most popular song by just raw listens. Oh, thank you, Apple. It's a really good feature you have. We didn't even play Disco on half of the last tour, and nobody really complained or said anything about it. So. Whatever. All right. Cool. Thanks everybody for coming to my stream today. I will put these up real quickly one last time. If you weren't here earlier about our remainder of our tour dates, I should hopefully have news about the UK/Europe shows this week. So if you are on the other side of the ocean, keep an eye out on social media, email inboxes, if you follow us on Discord, that kind of thing. And we will have more news about it, hopefully by the end of this upcoming week. I should be here Wednesday for the stream. I definitely won't be here next Sunday. I will be in Montana because I have to go to a wedding. So, yeah. Anything else? Join our Discord. Mars has already posted it, but there's the daily lyric postcard. It's still in stock. Yeah, let's see. Today's the 7th? Yeah. I didn't believe in magic, but you cast it on me quick. You're my romantic alchemist, too charming to resist. Which, when you say it like that, doesn't sound as good as when you sing it in a song called Alchemical Romance off of the album Happiness Without a Catch. So, yeah, only one person can get that postcard. It's one a day, and it could be you if you go to our website and click that link and get that before anybody else does. And if you don't want to, you can wait till tomorrow, and there'll be a different one at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Discord link. Go listen to Jam Mechanics. If you were here and you watched me just sit here live for an hour, you have no excuse not to listen to Jam Mechanics, because it takes less time to listen to an episode of Jam Mechanics, and it's probably better than my streams. Yeah, cool. No matter where you are in the world, no matter what you're doing, you are a goober, and you should go to